The fundamentals of drawing super deformed characters. Hi there, my name is Yilder. I'm going to go through the basics of the super deformed style of drawing. Firstly, let's take a look at the distinguishing features of some basic body shapes. We'll start with the head, which is basically a square shape. By underemphasizing the point of the chin, you can give your character a more rounded, plushy feel. The next building block is the body, which is just a standard rectangle. Lastly, the legs and arms are drawn as slim rod-like shapes that extend from the body. This forms one of the most basic figures. But let's make it look a little bit cuter. Now we can see this character gives off a totally different impression. The head is the same shape as before, but it looks totally different. Next, let's give it a slim, stylish shape. Not only the torso, but also the arms and legs have been drawn using triangular shapes. Again, it conveys a different feeling. You can substantially alter the impression your character gives off simply by changing the basic building blocks of the body. Here are several typical types of body figures. This one here is rectangular. Its slim angular edges give off the image of somebody tall and agile. This guy is also just a combination of squares and triangles, but appears more powerful because the shoulders, hands, and feet have been drawn with pointy tips. This lady's head is round, but her body is shaped a bit like a teardrop, which effectively makes her look slimmer and slender. And this one appears soft and cute, since the whole body is drawn with roundish shapes. Let's go back to the first illustration. This one is also made of relatively simple shapes. A cube for the head, a cuboid for the torso, and slim cylinders for the arms. Take a look at objects or other drawings around you and think about what shapes they would be composed of. Next up, after first going through one example, I'll show you how to emphasize certain features to make it look super deformed. I've already got the first rough sketch here, and will draw her again later to show you how the key points of the SD style will transfer across. But judging from her special jacket and headwear, this girl's character is a cat. Let's focus first on the hair. She has two distinct ponytails. This helps to distinguish her silhouette, so pay extra attention here in your drawings. Let's go into a little bit of detail about her facial expression. Eye shapes make her look a bit sleepy. So incorporating this aspect into your deformations will help your drawings convey more personality and impact. Next up is the clothes. I've drawn a big ribbon around her neck, and down the front of her jacket, 1, 2, 3, 4 stitch fastenings. Take a mental note of the number of stitches because we want consistent detail when we draw her super deformed character too. Also note how compared to the rest of the body, her legs are quite slim. In order to reflect this stylized aspect in your deformations, you may have to adjust the body proportions here and there. In comparison, her arms spread out like fans or look like elongated teardrops. Look out for this point in the super deformed character later. After learning about the key stylistic features, Let's see how we go about dressing the body outline. Here's the pre-drawn body outline. I chose this one so it's easy for you to recall what her body and arms looked like from before. Let's add in the details. This is the rough sketch of her super deformed profile. So now, I'll actually draw the same character we just looked at. When visualizing the character's pose, be careful not to draw it simply standing face on, because this looks a little bit boring. Or in other words, draw the composition such that it conveys the character's motion or a sense of dimension. Like so. I hope you can feel how it has depth and dynamic action now. This comes from the disproportionate size of her hands. This is one method for adding field of depth. Just like with the hands, the path lines connecting the head and feet reveal the extreme angle and body proportions. By planning out these dynamic paths, your drawings will hold a greater sense of space and fluidity. Let's add in the rest of the detail. The hair usually says quite a lot about the character's movements. So with her one arm raised up like this, it tells us that she is twisting and arching her body. I'll use the hair to help express this arching force just like this. That completes the rough outline of a character in motion. A last note on the camera angle: if you draw on a diagonal axis, this will help depict your character as though it's caught in action. There are many other techniques to help, but I'll leave it here for today. Thanks for watching.